Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian here from Major Mateo Drones. Another day, Wednesday, hump day. Hope everybody had a good day, morning, afternoon, having a good evening. How's everybody doing? We're going to have another free for all Wednesday. We will talk about anything you want to talk about, new drones, and a little bit of politics. So I want to go ahead and say hi to Mr. Brayton Nuntley, Hype Media, Mike, GFO Jordan Tech, Emad, Dar, how you doing, Chief? The View Chaser, Jonathan Cabanas, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for popping in. Really appreciate you guys. And we have two people in the background that I'm about to go ahead and bring on in. We got Mr. Fly Right Drones. How you doing, Chief? Thank you for popping into the stream. Really appreciate you, boss man. And Danny, the View Chaser, I'm about to send you the link in a minute, so just give me 1 minute, brother. Let me bring in my boy, Big Mike. How you doing, Chief?
What's up, boss?
How you doing, Big Mike from GFO Drone and Tech? And we also have my boy, Matt North from Northeast Drone Production. What's going on?
Hello.
What's up, Matt?
Nate?
What's going down today, boys?
Nothing much, you wanker. Same old deal.
Right. You started already on me. Jeez, Adrian. You're always picking on me, mate.
Wednesday is hump day.
I'm past hump day, brother. I got the next 3 days off after this, so that's fantastic.
Good job. How you doing, Mr. Robert Major? How you doing, Chief? Thank you for popping into the stream. And tonight we're going to have a good night. That's right.
We are.
I have another person in the background. First time being on my stream.
Really?
I do want you to put your hands together and help me welcome my boy, a friend that I've actually met, good person, drone person. And here it is, Mr. QC Guy, aka
Man,
Chris.
do you lie a lot?
A little bit.
How are you,
y'all
mate?
doing? Hey, Mike, Matt,
Hey,
Adrian.
Yeah, going good, mate. Going good.
I'm
I
doing
better
all
say
right.
good day to everyone in the chat too. Good day, everybody. How you doing?
Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was getting set up.
The Mini 2. Raise your hands if you have the Mini 2. Chris, do you have it yet?
No, I don't have it yet. I have it locked in.
Oh, you got it locked in, okay? Matt, I know you're not going to get it, so I'm not even going to ask you.
No, I just got a Tiny Hawk too. Arr!
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, dude. It's awesome. That thing
Sweet.
whips around, dude. That rips around the house. Don't worry about that.
Sweet.
Yeah, it comes with a 1S and a 2S, and the 2S is crazy. It's got a little bit of voltage problem with the 2S because it hasn't got the right connector on the drone. You've got to solder one in, but it's still got a lot of punch. Don't worry about that. It's a great little drone, man.
Got you.
Change the name to this and Japan. That's hilarious.
Okay.
Well, we used to have Datsuns here, the Datsun Sunnies and Datsun whatever, blah blah blah, and yeah, what death. That's unreal. You know what? When I was in Germany, all the ambulance officers got out the ambulance and shit at the place I was at. Anyway, they all got out and they're walking around, and on the back of their uniform it says DIE.
What does that mean?
Die.
What does it stand for, though?
I don't know what it stood for. I don't know what the word was, but that's when on the back of the paramedics' uniforms. Die. Wouldn't want them to be helping you, would you?
No,
Right?
heck no.
It wasn't like an abbreviated. It was just die.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what it meant. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, but in white writing, DIO, just like they say on the back of ours, ambulance or something like that, or paramedics on the back of that, they had die written on theirs.
Well, I mean, doesn't make them have to really commit, right?
Yeah, anything above that is a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. we did better than advertised.
Yeah.
Working at a hospital, that doesn't make me feel comfortable.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Where are you from, Matt?
Brisbane, Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've met you. Hello, how are you?
Yes, first time.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And Mike, congratulations on you did your giveaway, right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Brent Nunley was the one that actually won it. He's in here in chat. He got his package today.
Awesome.
Sweet. Hey, right, Jones, what drones do you have now? You said you got 5. And you say you're trying to play catch up with me. I don't know what that means.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I don't have that much.
Yeah, you got the whole DJI
over there in Florida, Adrian. That's what he's trying to catch up with.
Hey, Mike, don't start that shit now. I only got 10.
Starting to brag now. Here we go.
Not bragging.
And crap, you are going to get the Mavic Mini 2. I can just see it because you'll go, oh, OcuSync. I got to get it.
Are you referring to me? You say that I'm going to get it, really?
Absolutely you are.
No, I'm not.
Well, you will, because you said that about the first one too. I don't need it. Next minute, hello.
Well, you're right. I did say that.
Yes, you did. On more than one occasion. And on the occasion you didn't say it, you held it up in front of us.
You know what? I also said that I wasn't going to get the Mavic Air 2, but I got it also.
Yeah, that's right. You
I
always
said
say
the same. I said the exact same thing because I had no interest in the original Air and no interest whatsoever. And then as I started seeing some of the leaks on the Air 2, it spiked my interest. But I also said it about the original Mini. I said, no way in hell I'll get it because I was not a Spark fan and I wasn't that type of small quad fan.
Did you hear that, Adrian?
Ended up getting the Mini. So if I were into a racer or something like that, I'd be into the smaller quads. But even the Mini, I wasn't crazy about it in the beginning. Ended up getting it and getting the Mini 2, just mainly because I do the reviews and like to do my typical stuff, and then most likely do like I do with a lot, revolve them, sell them out, and get on to the next.
Yeah. I do want to welcome my boy Drone Days. How you doing? And we got Chad B in the house. How you doing, Chad? Thank you for popping in. We got my boy Dan, aka the Droning Veteran. How you doing, brother? Thank you. We got Kenny from Cardoso Media. Hey man, thank you for popping in. Fly right. He got the Mini. He got the Mini 2, Phantom 4, Advanced, Mavic 2, and Mavic 2 Pro. Man, you got a hell of a collection, dude. Sweet.
I can't keep up with the drones I've got. Man, I have a problem flying my Spark these days. I'm a fan of the Spark, by the way. Done a lot of flights with that.
Yeah, you've done a lot with it too. Yeah,
I've done a lot more than fly with the Spark. Well, if the Sparks were flying, don't worry about that. Yeah.
How you doing, Kenny? Imandar, how you doing, Chief?
I love the Spark. It was a very, very capable drone. Got me into a lot of places.
Everybody that had it that I knew really liked it. It just never, I don't know, it just never grabbed me.
Yeah, look, the flight time on it's, not that crash hot. I used to fly my days and I'd carry a inverter in my car too, so I could charge all my batteries at the same time. And I flew with 5 of them and I'd be charging those, twice a day when I'm out for like 9 or 10 hours getting footage and whatever. That was the only downfall, really. Distance didn't worry me too much because you don't want that disappearing. It's very easy to lose sight of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really an issue. I mean, I've known people. Don Joyce up there in Canada, he had a lot of problems with his Spark. He got rid of his just after he got it. He couldn't get connection. He had all sorts of problems. He had a bit of a dud. So, I guess you get that with all the drones. There was a lot of trouble with the Mavic Mini when it first came out, dropping out of the sky and doing all sorts of stupid things. Philly Drone Life, he lost Did he lose one or two of them? Maybe I know he lost one of them.
I know
He lost
one.
one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that thing was crazy, man. It was setting its home point as it was disappearing. It was setting a new home point. There was no hope that's coming back. No, my God, I don't know what happened there. But anyway,
How
he's
you
got
doing?
another-
The third eye view. How you doing, man? Thank you for popping into the stream. He said he from hello from Texas. Chris, if you don't mind me asking, what state are you in, sir?
Pennsylvania.
Is it cold over there?
Today we actually was 70 degrees and
in Florida. What the hell's going on?
beautiful day, but we had some cold ones prior. Had our first little, just dusting little teaser of snow the other day.
Okay.
But yeah, we got a whole beautiful forecast up through the weekend here coming. So I'll take it, because normally right about now we could be seeing snow daily.
I've been through Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful state. Beautiful.
And that's why I don't live up north anymore.
Yeah, I want to go
There's
south.
snow.
I want to go south. Eventually, I think I'm going to head to North Carolina.
Okay. And I do agree with you, Kenny. The Spark is an amazing drone. And don't even call it your first love, because you're going to make the wank over here go crazy. He already got a little finger in his mouth. You're about to rub that, what are you doing, man? Where your hands? Let me see your hands, sir. Let me see your hands. I know how you are.
No, Kenny's actually misquoted himself there. He says it's his first love. It's his only love. How can anything compare? Seriously, Kenny?
And you know what?
Yes.
I got to agree with Jonathan Cabanas. Mavic Air 2 is an amazing drone. I know you love yours, Chris. I know you do.
I really do. I really do. And you know what? You see DJI up behind me on the wall there, and it's not all I buy, obviously, but the Mavic Air is my grab over the Mavic Pro 2.
Yeah.
Every time. Like I really have not been flying the Mavic 2.
Yeah,
Pretty much at all this summer. It's been an odd, crazy summer for me, but it's been a lot of Mavic Air 2 for me.
Okay.
I hear you with the first Air. I wasn't a fan of that at all. One of my mates had one, and it put me right off. It was disgusting. This thing just wouldn't keep connection. But the Air 2, very capable, great drone,
And the original, so loud. Like,
oh, it wasn't it annoying.
Like, I'm the type of person that, I will go out and I fly out in areas of parks and stuff where people are, but I always also have that feeling like, I feel a little awkward, people are watching, and, I don't want to be bothering people. And then you hear those things fire up. It's like, holy hell, you hear them far away. Just buzzing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I actually have that drone also. Chris, I have the Mavic Air 1, and that thing is obnoxiously loud. It really is.
Yeah.
But I love it. I mean, that was actually my first drone, my first love, actually. And I still have it. I'm not gonna get rid of it.
The camera on them's pretty good. That's pretty good, And well, I've said it in the past. People who are into photography and videography and all that sort of thing, they're not upgrading their drone. They look for a drone for what the camera can do, and the Mavic Air is quite capable. That's why I was really up and down about the Mini too, because there was no control over that camera whatsoever. Not that I'd probably get one anyway, but I was looking at something to sit alongside the Spark, just as a 2.7K camera, but there was no control over that camera, and I wasn't happy with that, so I never went ahead and got it. So I don't know what they bought. The new one, the 2, I don't know what the camera controls you got on that, but who knows? Who knows? I probably still won't get one, because I don't fly the ones I've got now. I just fly the 2 Pro all the time. It's I'm always out there with that thing, The Mavic 1, the Pro 1 that I've got is my stunt drone that I chuck into places I don't want to put the 2 in. And, so I use it for that. And then the Spark I still use for a little going through rainforest and stuff like that. Fantastic, man. So I have got a use for them.
I'm glad you're doing pretty good, Drone Pool, aka Dan. And we got Mr. Arizona Drone Dude. How you doing, AZ Drone Dude? Thank you for popping in, sir. And Kenny said that the Mavic Mini 2 records at 100 megabytes per second, which is actually a nice improvement.
Absolutely, you'd want it too. Yeah, it beats the beat the Spark 24, doesn't it, Kenny? that's ridiculous.
No further than Scotty.
You got Skydio 2, right, Chris? Right behind you?
I have the 2. I didn't venture into the 1.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
Len.
I have the 2, and I enjoy that one mainly. Just I like to just kind of mess around with that one with the kids, or when you have people over. It's always a good discussion piece, and whip it out and say, hey, check out what this will do, and have them run around the yard or whatever like maniacs, and think they can crash it. But I've actually even hit power line with it, and that sucker just it wobbled and steadied right out and continued on following.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you for popping into the stream. The Mini 2 will be a seller. I think it will be a big seller, especially Best Buy. When they find out of Best Buy, just like that.
It will be. It's a massive upgrade. It is. Hey, how do you find that Evo behind you there, mate? Is that the Pro or the 8K?
That is the Pro, but I have the 8K camera as well.
Okay. How do you find the picture quality of the 6K camera?
I like it, but I've come into challenges with it compared to other drones, to where with the settings themselves.
Yeah.
It's just it's a platform I'm not used to where it gives you a wider range, but I'm not used to some of the things like being able to lock out portions of auto or whatever, where I don't want to get that overexposure, change that you get. But I did struggle a lot in the very beginning, just trying to get anything decent. But I've kind of balanced it out to where I feel like I'm at a mid-level with the camera. So I can't really say anything on the camera itself when I'm not, when I don't feel like I'm fully capable with it.
Right.
DJIs,
okay.
I can set them right up. Skydio, it's like you don't have to do anything. It gives you something perfect every time. And then in the cheaper categories of the quads I fly, like the Hubsons or the Femies, I'm fully capable of making all the settings in those and turning them into something better than what they give you in presets. Skydio was a challenge.
Is the oh, sorry, what?
Hold on. How you doing, Brent Nutley? Bob Casey, how you doing, Chief? We got Lance Capture. Thank you for popping into the stream. Appreciate you guys. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, are they the same settings in that Evo as what the, say, the Pro series are with the sharpness, saturation, or sharpness, contrast, and saturation? Is it a similar sort of setup to that to get them right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, you have every setting possible in front of you. So that's where it's been a challenge for me, because I'm not a camera guy. I'll admit that right out of the bat. I'm just not a camera guy to where, I can dial it in so quickly like a lot of these guys can. So some of the stuff is fairly new to me that I haven't even had to really, dial in and mess with on other quads. The one thing where you get spoiled with DJI is presets. You can pretty much go with the presets and do just a little fine tuning in your editing. But I don't like the presets at all in the the auto and presets of like sunny day and such. And the Evo, I get crappy overexposed images.
the white balance on the Evo 6, even the 6K, is horrendous, to be honest. I've had a good play with some footage that was sent to me to color grade for them, and it was in log, and it is a very, very dull image. You've got to really pull these colors straight out of it. But that's a log image. That, as I said, you're not talking log, you're talking standard settings. But I did find the standard settings to be, and the footage that came out of it was quite fake. It was very, very difficult to make look anything natural about it. It was a strange camera. I've never seen footage like it, to be honest. I dare say, if I fiddle with it more and all that sort of stuff, that you get a decent image out of it. But there's a lot of playing around with it, man. A lot of playing around with it.
Yeah.
It's totally foreign.
I got a question for you, Chris. Now, on the Evo, does that have an aperture?
Yes.
Okay. If it's a super sunny day, try playing with your aperture.
Okay.
Close that down. The more you close that down, the less sunlight you'll let into your camera.
Yeah.
And it should clean up your contrast a little bit.
Well, the other thing I need to do too, though, is I need to get filters for it. And my biggest thing with that is because if you've seen anything on my channel, I'm always over water. And you throw in that sun and water and
catch that glare. Yeah, I know.
I've got all the mountains around me, so it's never a steady light. It's always changing and everything. So, but I hit that water glare and it completely blows everything out. So I definitely need to get some filters for it. I had some ordered, and then I was seeing people saying problems with gimbal calibration on it. So I held off until I could do more research on it. Because filters they're a bit of an investment, so just want to make sure that it's not just people that are already having gimbal problems and then saying the filters are part of that problem, because there have been some reported gimbal problems where people can't calibrate them, they get tilted horizons and things like that with the Evo 2. So ultimately, I think anybody having problems with these, mine acted a little weird in the very beginning. That 6K camera is freaking up. It's a huge brick. It's a big, square, heavy brick. And if you watch any video on my channel where I was flying that, it seems like every return to home, that camera is it's doing this. Now, I am in the wind, but it's not doing that during my flight. It's doing that on return to home. So something weird there in the programming or in the firmware, I don't know, but it definitely gets a little weird wobble to it.
That's strange. That's automatic return to home, is it?
Even if I just put it into return to home.
That's awesome. So whether you're flying back manually or automatic.
No, just if it's in the setting of return to home where it's flying itself.
Automated, okay.
But when I'm out flying around, I don't notice it in that footage. I only notice it once I've engaged return to home.
Mm-hmm. Have you had record on? Have you checked the footage from your SD card and it's wobbly?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I thought you see it on your screen.
Yeah,
it's just coming back.
No, I mean like on my on the videos on my channel.
Yeah,
it's real clear to see on those videos.
That's weird, man. That's weird.
That, and this created so much frickin' so much conflict within these Autel groups, and that's been the most disappointing part of this whole quad for me is the Autel groups. If anybody ever thinks a DJI group's bad, man, Autel, they're vicious. I mean, there's some guys in there just sitting waiting for you. But I had a really strange incident where I took off at 15%. I just wanted to get one shot. I do this all the time, and if you guys do things for channels and you're out there and you think, oh, I wanted to get this one shot. Well, all I wanted to do is I just wanted to get a hand takeoff. That's all I wanted. A hand launch, go up, bring it right back. Under 2 minutes, be done with it. So I did that at 15% battery. I can't tell you how many times I've done that with every quad I own. I did it, launched up, took off out of my hand, launched up. I turned right, thank God, because I came off the water. And all of a sudden, as I'm going over a tree, and I was clear 10 feet over the tree, easy, all of a sudden you hear the motors just die down. It just says on the controller, just goes beep, 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 and it goes down fast. And then it went and played Plinko through the tree and broke the leg on it.
Wow.
That's on your Evo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So everybody, of course, was screaming operator error, taking off at 15%, and that
Shouldn't be an issue.
No, it
Shouldn't
should
be
not
an
be an
issue.
issue. I don't feel like the cell dropped out on it or anything like that. It was the strangest thing. If you go on my channel, you'll see it. There's one video I did where it was what I think I called it what I found after the crash. You will see a perfect zoomed in slow motion with volume of what it did. And it's clear to see that it's definitely not operator error or the battery. I mean, if I screw up and do something, I'm not the type of person where it's like, oh no, that wasn't me. I'll admit to my wrong all day long, but
Well,
something
you did say that
goofy.
You did say that you took about 50%, right? So you should have enough battery.
No, 15, but still, I think 15 is still for what I was trying to do. Just go up, turn around, come right back. I didn't go far at all.
And in all honesty, there shouldn't be any depletion. Well, there'll be depletion, but there shouldn't be any depletion at even 10%. It may have an auto land, but you should have an option there to actually still throttle your drone up.
Yeah. It didn't even give me any options. It did say landing as it was beeping. It was like a series of 6 beeps, and it just said landing, and I'm like full stick up as it's just, and I just stood there and watched it to make sure I could get a spot of where it landed because it was right on the edge of the water, and I was afraid it was going to go in the water. But it's all well documented, and they definitely said something is not kosher there, basically. And they sided with me on it and offered that I could, send it in for repair, and I opted out. I just said no. Even if it voids warranty, I've got the arm, and I'm just replacing it myself.
Yeah.
I say good night to Dan, the drone veteran, and I do want to welcome again the Third Eye View. We also have, who else came in? I didn't even say hi to Robert Glacier. I do apologize about that. And just to answer Jonathan Cabanas, I do have the Skyread ND filters for the Mavic Air 2. These actually work pretty good. I remember you asking. I didn't get a chance to answer you. I apologize.
Rob Glazier's having the same issues you just did, mate. What shits me about this whole situation is when the drone all of a sudden decides it wants to save the battery and not the drone.
Yeah.
Please, come on. If I'm over water, I don't give a shit about that battery. I want my drone back. You don't want it going into auto landing, all that shit.
And that's what pisses me off about so many of these drones, like even DJI, 12, it's like 12, 13%. Start landing the quad. They allow me to go full stick up and fly, but it's the whole time it's trying to go down. So I'm wasting battery trying to keep it up in the air. Yeah. And then you get into what they call a low power state, where if you have a slight breeze, you can't even fly into it. It's not even giving you the power.
No, that's right. What it does is actually when it goes into that auto landing thing, you lose a lot of your forward momentum. You won't be able to get it out of harm's way because it's just impossible to fly any faster. It puts a restriction on it, and all of a sudden your drone's landing in water when you could have got it back with 5% battery.
Yeah. Well, I have a good crash on the channel for that one too with the Mavic Air 2. It did exactly that, but that was 100% my fault because I got distance greedy. And I mean, I wanted to hit. I was up on the side of a mountain. I had a very small overlook where I could land, so it was going to be a hard return anyhow. But I took it out 27,000 feet. And came back. The winds changed. You looked at the water. The winds were blowing in different directions. My speed dropped down, and I was like, I know I'm not getting this back here. I thought it was going in the water. Well, then it hit that wanting to descend. So for the longest time, I was just holding that stick up, trying to keep it from landing, and that wasted battery. Then I got onto 0%. and it went into that low power state. I'm still over water. Thank God it let me fly for a good while on 0%.
Wow.
But then when I got to where I was on the mountain, the wind started taking it away from me. So all I could do is go to the left, bring it over the trees, and I just stood there and watched it fall. And it landed perched perfectly on top of an 8-foot tree that I could literally poke with a stick and get. I mean, I had to walk down a little cliff edge and hunt for it with some friends for a while, but that was very lucky. 100% my fault. I got greedy as hell with that, but
God damn. Well, I actually think that when the battery shows 0%, there's actually around about 10% still in there.
and that's my argument with Autel. Autel is fighting on this, not fighting. They're sticking to this, great flight time, and I think they're playing it too close with that battery to make that claim. So they're making that claim of the longer flight time, but they're risking it and not giving you a reserve. I think so far from what I've been playing with and talking to with others, we're finding it's off about 8%. So deduct 8% from your 15 that I was at, but that margin can change whatever if they're that low. There needs to be a reserve in all these batteries. When it says 0%, just like your car says E, light comes on, you still have a reserve.
Yeah, I know. I've had my spark battery down to 0, and it was still flying, and landed it in my hand with 0 in it, and that's and then I was reading up a few things on the batteries and all sorts of stuff. I was just looking at anyway, and that was one of the things that came up, is it's actually not 0. It's I think the spark was 10% or something like that, 8 to 10%. It was a while ago now. But but it will land. It'll land and it'll put you in a mess when it's still got 10% battery in it.
Yeah, I hate that, and I call it training wheels. And I wish they had an off switch for all those kind of training wheels, because I don't want them. I push my batteries to the end. I don't care about if it's people. If I'm bothering people that I'm not practicing good battery management, it's my money, my batteries. If I ruin the battery, I have to buy another one. It's simple as that.
Yeah,
I like to push it. That's all there is to it.
Have a good evening, Les Country. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate you. And we have Rosa Benitez, my nephew. We got Bebo for life. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate you, brother. So, Chris, out of your drones repertoire, which one of you would you say you like the most?
I have a hard time. I have a hard time with that every time. What's that?
I'm gonna let that marinate. You took a deep breath, like you can't really make up your mind. Which one you like the best?
Well, your viewers probably don't know it, but and I won't drag into this real long, but the Autel has got a different meaning to me. My mom had cancer, and before she died, she basically said, pick out something on Amazon that you would not normally buy for yourself for your birthday.
Yeah.
So I picked that, and she purchased it, and it arrived the day after she passed away, which was the day before my birthday.
Oh, wow.
So that's got a lot of meaning to me. That's just a very sentimental thing with me, and that's where it's been so disappointing. Not the crash. I could care less about the crash because I can fix them. But that's where it's been so I've had such a bad taste with it, is just the interaction with other Autel owners in these groups. One guy made a comment here that he saw some of the stuff I was going through, said I held my ground good, but I don't like to have to hold my ground. I like to go into the group, share what I've experienced. I'm not in there bashing anything. I just like to engage with other people and have a good experience overall in that part of the hobby, along with flying. So the Autel, to answer your question, would be up there for sure. When I go out flying, I can never take one drone. Chad B, you saw him in the group here. When I was in Virginia, taking care of my mom a lot over the summer, he and I got together and flew a lot. I'm always taking 3 drones, so I can't really answer that, but I'll just tell you right now, it's Skydio, Mavic Air 2, and Evo 2.
Okay. Okay. I do
So
want to welcome.
everybody, I'm not a fanboy of one thing. I am open-minded.
Whatever works, mate. Whatever works the best. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I like that. I don't like to be stuck in like I've never been just a Ford guy, Chevy guy, Datsun guy. Well, actually, I was just a Datsun guy for a while, but that was back in the days of the good old 280Z. My brother had one, I had one, my father had one, so we were the Datsun family.
Wow, I remember the 180Bs.
Yeah, we had the station wagon at one time. We had the B210. We had all kinds of Datsuns during the fuel crisis.
Holy
That's when all
moly!
that started. But yeah, I've never been stuck on one, and I'm glad because you get a little different feel with each one. You know, sometimes I got to remind myself, "Oops, I'm not in this quad. This is a little different. I'm not quick on the on the buttons and things that in my setting up the camera and such." But yeah,
Wake up, Mel.
I like them all.
Hey guys,
Hey Mel,
do
how
want-
are you, mate?
Hey, Mel.
How you
Hey,
doing,
Mel.
Mel?
I'm doing good, Adrian. Thanks for the invite.
Yes,
I'm
so my
just-
pleasure.
Resetting my phone here to turn all the volumes down so that it doesn't make a lot of racket.
And while you do that, I just want to welcome Chris Hope. I also want to welcome Brad Alston. Thank you so much for popping in. We also got to welcome my boy, Army Boy. Hey, man, thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you, brother. And
See you,
we
Kenny.
have in the background. What happened? Somebody just popped in and they popped out. Okay. I think
Kenny's
I
going.
Sorry if I mute myself in and out. My throat's all messed up and I've been coughing a lot. So every time I feel one coming on, I'll mute my mic.
It's all good, mate. That's all good. Yeah, I've been looking at an alternative to DJI for a long time, and I looked at the first Autel, but I didn't like the field of view. It was way too wide for me. So I'm really keen. I was really keen on this 6K of the Autel. You know, I really wanted it to work. And I dare say within the next, 6-8 months or whatever, and they sort and iron their bugs out, that it may still be an option. I've just got to get my ass around the footage of it, and I've still got the raw footage here from a mate of mine that I've been playing with. It's very different to in log file to in post.
And that's
But
where
it's
I'm
a learning
starting to
curve.
go with it now is into log files. Like I'm starting to kind of touch into that, and that's all fairly new to me as well. So
Log's awesome, and I'm understanding now that the 6K is shooting in 10-bit with a firmware update. Is that right?
yes,
Okay, cool. That's what we want, man. Yeah.
yeah. So that one can be put to bed because that was a big because they advertised it from the start, but they didn't bring it out in the beginning.
Yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment to a lot of
Yeah.
people. There was a lot of stuff on that website that went, hang on, what? Because on paper, it's an amazing drone, amazing. I was like, it'd shit on anything that I ever had, and then it came out, and all of a sudden, it was half of it.
Yeah.
Like, hang on.
Didn't they do that with the first one too?
I don't
I
know
think they
on
did.
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one came out and it was late, and then there was stuff they ran their lips about that they weren't kissing on and all that. I believe that happened on the first one. Hello, everybody in chat.
Yeah.
Hello to you, by the way, Mel. You're a familiar face, but
Hello,
never
Chris.
met
Thank
you.
you.
So hello to
Well,
you.
thank you.
I
Good
have
to meet
watched you.
Matt,
Good to meet you.
check this out, man. New computer.
Is that? And I can't hear you, mate. You're gone all muffly.
New computer.
New computer.
Yeah,
Is that new bloody thing that Brian Mack had?
it's the no. This is the HP Elite.
Let me see the back of that. So it's got
It's
the
in the
fold out.
case. No,
It's
there's
got-
nothing. You can attach a keyboard on the bottom of it, but
It's got the
pin.
stand and everything too, right?
Yeah, it's got a little stand that pops out.
Yeah, I think I did see a preview of that, but I didn't
Holy
click
moly.
on it.
4K screen.
Cool.
Yeah, right.
Can you
So
hook it
that's
up?
going to be
Can you
that's what
hook
I've
it
been
up to a
using to edit
controller?
photos and stuff. What's that?
Can you hook it up to a controller?
No, I already looked. Adrian was talking to me about that the other day. It has a USB-C, but you can't put the DJI app on this because it's not Android. It's actually Windows 10.
Okay.
Oh, bugger. Oh, you were talking about the Crystal Sky yesterday, weren't you, Mel? Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you work that out? No?
No. I was able to connect the Osmo Action camera to it.
Mm.
Sort of. It kept saying authenticating when I connected to the Wi-Fi signal from the Osmo Action.
Yeah,
So
right.
it wouldn't actually pull it in. Wouldn't actually connect up.
That's a shame.
Which, yeah, that really disappointed me because I thought, oh, maybe there's a way. Yeah.
You know what? There still might be.
There
It
still
all
might
depends
be.
on all depends on what the Crystal Sky is capable of taking in images. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it will or not.
Fingers crossed, brother.
Well, I've got a couple of different ideas, but I'm afraid to plug things in and put signals in where you shouldn't put a signal in. Kind of like plugging things in, and she says
stick it. Don't stick it where you
she
shouldn't.
slaps you for it, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's not where it goes. Yeah, you probably you finally got some footage from one of the NASA security cameras or some shit pop up on your screen. Where the hell did that come from? You get a knock on your door, man.
Yeah, it's but I'm always trying to do that kind of stuff. I was when everybody first said you couldn't live stream from the smart controller. I just flat decided, you know what? I'm not going to take no for an answer. And I kept messing with it till I got it to work. And you could live stream to Facebook all day long. You just couldn't live stream to YouTube with it. And I think that's what it's back to now with all the updates that they've done. Hello, Dre.
How you doing, Dre?
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you.
Oh, there we go. How we doing this evening?
There it
fellas?
is.
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Good.
What's going on, Dre?
Hey, what's going on down under, Matt?
Upside down, all the blood's rushing to me head, but I'm getting by.
There you go. As long as you're standing, that's all that counts.
That's it, man. That's it. No, it's
Nice
good
to meet you, Dre.
Good to meet you, QC guy, Chris. All right.
How you doing, Jody? John Shaw, how you doing, Chief? Thank you for popping in, sir.
And Jody. Oh, yeah. I think I saw. What happened to Michigan, Jody? Y'all went traitor on us.
Yes, so it's California usual. California do that every single year.
Well, that's normal for California, but
I know. Now, guy, what's up with Pennsylvania? Talk to me.
What's that?
What's that?
What's up with Pennsylvania?
Who? What?
What?
I'm talking Chris, QC guy. What is up with Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, they actually kind of. Pennsylvania right now is. I was just looking as we were talking. Pennsylvania right now is Trump 50.9, Biden 47.9. Which actually, that margin actually really surprised me. At least my area is huge Trump. But I think the areas of like Pittsburgh and such are where the Biden circles are.
With the Biden,
it looks like more here in Pennsylvania, more small town areas like where I'm at. I'm in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's small town, but it looks like to me,
God.
a majority of all your small towns are all Trump, like across the board.
If that's true, if what Night Train just put in chat is true, then there's no way Trump will win.
What's
Yeah,
what'd you
that's
say?
what I was thinking myself too.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to tell you. 264 Biden, 214 Trump.
Yeah, that means Biden took one of the other southern
Well,
states, and Trump needed to get them all.
Georgia was the big surprise because right now Georgia is Biden 49%, Trump 49.8%, and that's not what they were projecting at all.
Well, I don't think anybody was projecting any of this shit with Biden. But anyway,
Well, I think some people are reporting giving Biden Arizona already. That's why they put him at 264.
yeah, but I thought I saw a map where they backed Arizona and Nevada out into.
Most of them have. I know Fox News is still giving him Arizona at this point.
Well, yeah, when you get into a certain lead, then they'll lock you in on it. So they've got him in Arizona at 50.7, where Trump's at 47.9. So with that margin, they give it to him.
Yeah.
Just like they did on Florida, Trump 51 versus 47.8 on Biden.
So basically, Nitro is saying that Biden got Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
Michigan.
Yeah, with those three right there, she's giving 253.
Man,
The whole thing is just scaring the absolute daylights out of me.
Yeah, me and you both. Like we were talking last night on Jim's stream.
Well, they're just going to be, based on all the stuff from what's been being said, he's gonna close everything back down again. He's gonna work his way into destroying the fossil fuel industry. Of course, raise taxes. It's just going to be. It's going to be bad all the way around for the economy and for us, for the little people that don't make a lot of money.
How you doing,
the
Nitro?
big people got a lot of money, they'll survive it. But
yeah, what's going
like
on,
Karen?
Jim?
Yeah, don't touch my money.
Yeah,
Big
well,
end
he's
of
gonna.
town.
Did you hear
It's
me,
the big
Chris?
end of- Oh my
What's
God!
that?
And Biden, he is gonna touch our money because he said he's gonna tax us to oblivion. So he claims he's not gonna do it, but he is. He's gonna do whatever he want to do.
Well, here's where I stand. As far as whoever is elected, all I can do is just be that one rare person that wishful thinking, hope for the best. I'll stand behind my country. I'm not going to be sore winner, sore loser. I can't stand all that. I can't stand the state this country's in as far as the two parties just constantly bashing and fighting each other, and that's why I never get into like at work, everybody's wanting to talk to politics, find out who you're voting for and all that, and I never get into any of that. Like nobody knows who I vote for, where I stand, and just leave it at that.
Is somebody doing a porn here? I see hear little dings.
Hey, Adrian, what does this remind you of?
Well, let me put it this way: what you send me is more like a bigger, like huge. Exactly. Holy cow!
And
Every now and
Jim, why is your Mavic 2 Mini not going to be there till next week? I mean, you ought to have it tomorrow. I mean,
How you
you
doing?
can order
Rob?
it on Best. You can order it on Best Buy at midnight. Pick it up in the morning.
Where's he at? Is he off the beaten trail or?
Well, with the wild, wonderful world of internet that what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Al Gore invented. You can buy it and then drive 100 miles if you have to get it.
Yeah, the next day pickup or storefront pickups.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year when I got the Air 2, I ordered that. Me and my friend Chad B, we both ordered them at the same time. He got his in the mail the very next day. I got mine 2 days later. So
Last year, you mean this year? The Air 2 came out this year, did it not?
this year, but
Okay. I thought I'd missed something there.
And we have my boy, Mr. Jim, in the background. Let me go ahead. I'm about to pop myself out. I'm about to bring him in. Give me 1 second.
It can't be more expensive from Best Buy. They have to sell it for what DJI says to
Yeah.
sell it for.
yeah.
Hello, Jim.
Jimbo, how are you, mate? I've actually got to get going because I'm going to get ready for work now. So bring yourself back in, Adrian. Nothing against you, Jim.
Well, at least you waited till he got here, and you stayed while I came in.
I know.
There's a couple of people that leave when I come in usually.
Yeah.
Well,
Matt, before you roll out, I'll just say it was very nice to meet you, and definitely enjoyed talking with you, especially over the Altel stuff. Getting your point of view on that same camera thing, I don't feel so much like I'm struggling as much as I did after hearing what you said.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that, mate. It's a weird picture. Yeah. Something to work around. It's not unworkable. It's just different,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you have to work out your little tweaks and stuff like that to sort it out. But absolutely fantastic to meet you, mate. And as you said, great chat, man. Great chat. But anyway, thank you very much, guys, and I shall see you again very soon. Probably Friday night, hey boys?
Yes, sir. I'll see you Friday.
All right.
Now get out of here, you wind up. Good night.
See you, mate.
Good night, Matt. Good day, Matt. Have a nice day, Matt. Don't work too hard, Matt.
All right, Jimbo, talk to me. Come on, bring them numbers up.
Wisconsin is only a 20,000 vote difference.
Okay, bring the chart up again. Go ahead and bring it up.
I don't know how the hell you're calling something with a 20,000 vote difference.
Didn't they have 99% vote count?
99% reported, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you can call it.
How do you get is that including the mail-ins and everything?
If they say 99%, they're including everything that needs to be counted.
It ought to be. But
Yeah.
Sonari saw something.
Anything that's locked in so far is a 99% reporting, except for Arizona's 86%.
Sonari saw something to this afternoon where she read that Wisconsin had, and I don't know the exact number, so I'm just going to use examples. I'm going to say they had 112,000 registered voters. They had 87,000 or something mail-in ballots requested.
Illinois tripped me out.
And then they had 190,000 ballots counted. And they've only got 107,000 voters registered or some nonsense, whatever the numbers were. But
I heard that
in essence,
they so close in some of these.
It said they counted like, I'm going to say 60 or 70,000 more votes than they had registered voters for the state, is what it said basically.
Okay.
And Trump asked for a recount on that one, is what I heard.
And
he's got 3 state lawsuits filed right now.
Now, question. I thought that earlier Nevada was pretty much completely blue, but it looked like it's changing a little bit. Right, Jim?
Yeah, it looks like
Nevada,
just Vegas and Reno went for Biden, but they got the population, so.
Right. And that's what usually happens. Your major population areas are usually Democratic, and your rural areas are usually Republican.
That's typically true.
Hey, Mel, remember we were talking last night about the electoral votes not necessarily going? Well, that's exactly what happened. That one state with the 5 electorals, one went to Biden.
Yeah, it's because it's not a winner-take-all state.
Right.
I think it was Nebraska or something. I don't remember the state now, but yeah. Not every state is a winner-take-all.
2 states are not.
Yeah.
Mr. Rocket White. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Georgia's close as hell, man.
Yeah, it is. Kind of disappointed in Georgia.
Well, Georgia's going through the same thing like Nevada. It's the urban population areas that have the large amount of people that still have a million something votes they got to count.
Atlanta, Macon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The
Georgia's
Atlanta
at
area.
98. Georgia's at 98% reporting, so
Yeah.
Trump will probably lock in there.
Well, like I said, the Atlanta area has somewhat 3 or 4 of the largest counties: DeKalb, Cobb, and Fulton. They are the largest counties in the state, and that's
Yep.
where all the population's at. And then you go
Yep.
down to Savannah area, and then I think they got another large population in Columbus or somewhere down near the southwest of the state. Now, with you, Robert, it seems like I don't know what's going on in Arizona. They've been at 86% for like the last 18 hours. I don't know if the monkeys got tired and need to feed them or whatever. Somebody learn how to count.
Somebody said that Arizona, I think it was or Nevada. I think it was Nevada said that they aren't going to finish until noon on Thursday. So they aren't going to hand down anything until at least noon on Thursday.
Yeah.
Either that or
PL probably do the
8,000
same thing.
votes. 8,000 vote difference in Nevada.
Yep.
over 8,000. Over
Under.
8,000.
Under.
Oh, it shows 588 for Biden, 580 for Trump.
Yeah, but it's 80,600 and 80,200. So
Yeah.
if it was 88,600, then it would be an even number. But it's less than 8,000.
Okay, so
Mathematically, it's like 7,400 or whatever.
580,000 versus 588,000 is how many on your calculator? It's
Well,
8,000 votes.
you gotta add in the smaller number too, though, Jim. You can't just go from 8 to 80 or 80 to 88.
Mel, type in
That's a-
588 on your computer. And then
Type in
mine-
588
We had to do a math
200
lesson.
versus 600. That's almost 581,000. So it's you see what I'm saying, Jim?
way too close.
It is
Yeah.
close.
Yes, it is.
You know, the biggest thing that baffles my whole mind about this year's election is Biden is overall winning the popular vote.
Well, that just goes back to the population centers. It's like it wasn't Hillary ran. Hillary ran she won the popular vote.
Yeah, that's what
You
I
know,
was going to
and
say.
she wasn't even close in the electoral vote.
Right. That's true. And
So I know it means a lot to Trump
wait.
to win
God.
and win the popular vote.
I know there was maybe it still is. I don't know. Can you find the popular vote, Jim?
It says
Maybe
right
I
there.
was mistaken. I thought it was Trump that had the majority on the popular vote
It says
No, Biden's got him by
71,009,000.
2 million.
overall. Oh, okay. Is that the
That's what it
popular
says
vote,
there.
or is that
No, that's the total
The
electoral.
vote count.
that's like the actual votes? Yeah. Okay. So that's okay. Yeah, Biden's got the popular vote then. That just boggles my mind. For
When
all
did
the
this happen?
blunders,
Yeah.
the blunders and bumbles that he's had, and all the things that he says that make no sense, and
Make no damn sense.
all the things that he says about killing the fossil fuel industry and everything. I just don't understand.
Well, Mel, that plays tough in some parts of the country, and doesn't affect anybody else. Like fossil fuels, everything else. You're talking about Oklahoma, northern Texas, Pennsylvania, but you talk about people up in
In the
Washington,
Dakotas and Alaska.
right? But you talk about people maybe on the West Coast and other eastern seaboard cities. That doesn't affect them at all. But they don't have nothing to do with that.
Check this out, Dre. I was in a debate earlier with a good friend that everybody here knows. And he quoted that since, he said, big deal about killing fossil fuel. And I was like, really? Did you really just go there? Because killing fossil fuel means so many jobs and things, hundreds of thousands of people out of work. And he was like, well, that really wouldn't bother me. I'd just soon have an electric car anyway. And I wanted to say, well, then why don't you have one now? You know? But
Oh yeah.
then he went on to say, since COVID, the air is 60% cleaner since COVID.
Yeah,
And I said,
that's vehicles on the road.
but that's not really true, Dre. First of all, with all of the emissions going on in this country, that our air level has reached, let's use a scale of 1 to 100, and let's say our air level is at 80 right now, okay, as far as pollution. If 6 months of COVID, where most people are led to believe that there's less traffic on the road, lowered the emissions by 60%. So of 80, 60% of that would bring it down below 40 somewhere, right? Mathematically?
Yeah, your numbers are correct.
Okay.
Yes.
It took us 100 years to reach 80. How are we going to reduce that by 60% in 6 months? And let me throw in, transportation is my business. I know a little bit about flying drones. I know a little bit about cameras. I know a little bit about editing video, but I know a lot about the highways and traffic and the roads. Traffic is not less. It's actually more. I'm seeing more traffic on the road because people aren't having to go to work. They're working from home. So they're actually spending less hours working and more time going to grandma's house and going to the cousin's house and doing all these other things, vacations, all kinds of stuff. So me personally, I'm seeing more traffic overall on the average. And that's a fact. I mean, I'm seeing that with my own eyes. So the lowering of the air quality, or bettering the air quality by 60%, mathematically, when it took us this many years to get to that level, first of all, there's no way in hell we dropped it that much in 6 months. It's just physically not possible. And
Okay, Mel. Okay, Mel. Now, where you live at, that might be the regional or reality. Now, out here, I'm in Southern California, one of the worst places for air quality in the nation.
I know exactly what it's like. I lived in Escondido for 30 years.
Right. So let me continue. And also, not just that, one of the worst places to drive outside of New York. So I tell you this, during the height of the COVID, say around, I think around March, April, it only took me 45 minutes on the dot to drive from my house in San Bernardino to downtown LA. 55 miles, 45 minutes. Normal traffic. Now, people have been going back to work here in the last 2 months. Now that time has gone from 45 minutes back to an hour and 20 minutes.
I was going to say that's probably normally like an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute drive, isn't it?
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm saying about traffic. And like I say, it all depends what the patterns are in your area. Like where you're at, people are going to visit other people, that kind of stuff.
Do you run 60 or do you run 91 across?
You talking about the highways or my speed?
Yeah, no. With the traffic, I know damn well you're not running 60 or 91. No, the highways. Yeah, the highways.
I have all three.
That was funny though.
Well, I have to admit the jack can get up when it wants to.
Hey guys, hold on one second. Hey, so Chris, you're about to leave now?
What's that?
You say you're about to leave?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit sack, and I have to keep muting myself here, having coughing attack. So
okay. Well, thank you for coming.
Go ahead and exit before I croak on you guys.
Yes, sir. We have a good meeting. Thank you for coming in.
Good to see you face to face, Chris.
Nice to meet you guys.
Good
nice
to meet
talking
you, Chris.
with y'all, and see you around. Take care.
All right.
Be well.
Okay, Mel. So like I said, you know how traffic is in Southern California. Now, right now is the prime time to fly in Southern California. We've had the big windstorm come through about a week ago. All the smog is blown out. The sun is not dominating the sky like it is in the summertime. It makes a big glow. it is perfect flying weather right now, and everything. And now with the smog levels still lower than what it normally is, I don't get the early morning haze as bad, and I don't get the late afternoon smog because I'm in the valley here in the Inland,
Yeah,
Inland
the
Empire.
inversion area. Yep, I know.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't, yeah,
Yep.
you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm saying. That depending upon where you're at in the country, it's different. I know the patterns in Florida where Jim and Adrian at are different. They got constant offshore breezes that come through and push the weather through. Where I'm
Sure.
at, where I'm 60, 70 miles inland, the offshore breeze brings the smog right in, and it sits right on top of us where I
Yep.
live. It
Yep.
sits there until the wind blows it out and or dissipates after a couple of days. So, like I said, I notice a difference in air quality because of where I live and also the weather patterns and how the wind blows that smog from the coastal area into the inland areas. So, I mean, it varies, and I'm sure there's things going on. But I know, like, I went to Merced, California, which is about 5 hours north of where I live in the
Know
center of
right
the
where it's
state.
at.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude, it's usually 6.5, 7 hour drive. I did it in 4, you know, and I wasn't flying. I mean, just with nobody on the road. Nobody.
Huh.
I put the cruise control on 79 miles per hour, and I didn't have to get off of it until I got near Fresno.
Wow.
How
Didn't
you
have to get
doing,
off of
Bill?
there.
Costa Drone?
So
How you doing, Bill? Costa Drone. How you doing, Chief?
Hey, Bill.
Well, several people actually got the Mavic Mini here. I think James Jordan got it, and who else said he got it? Somebody else said.
Adrian, I'm gonna step away from my camera for just a minute. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
now my big
Jim,
question,
look,
Adrian, to the guys who ordered this or already have it, uh, do they already have the Maverick Mini also? Because that's where I get confused at. Is that if you already have the Maverick Mini, what was your interest in buying the Maverick Mini 2? Or especially if you had the Maverick Air 2 already, why did you buy
yeah,
the Maverick Mini 2?
yeah.
I like somebody to chime in and see. I mean, it's nice to buy all the new things that come out, but I'm just trying to figure out what advantage was you to decide to make that purchase.
What about you, Drone? Do you have it? What is it, Mike?
I'm about to head out, boss.
Yeah, man. I hear you, brother. Well, good night, man. Thank you for coming in, Chief.
All right, Jim, Dre, y'all have a good night.
All right, Mike, take care.
Now, Jim, talk to me. What are we looking at right here?
Look like
This is just a live elections.
like a live feed from Georgia.
So this is what's going on. What are they doing? They counting the ballot.
It looks like they're opening up the mail. Yeah.
Well, they didn't
What it
want to
looks
spoil
like.
your surprise, Adrian, and keeping the keeper elves in the back. So when they get tired, they'll come out and count.
Okay. That was funny.
No, they're not changing, are they?
Well, I guess Bill, I guess you did want to hit on order it.
Now, Coast to Coast said that he bought it for his wife. So he said he sold one and then bought the new one for his wife. So okay,
Yeah,
I can
but
go with that.
he's gonna be the one flying it. You know he is.
Now, Jim said that Mini 2, 4K, OcuSync, small, cool. I guess I just have a different mindset when it comes to drones. And a lot of you guys are in it for the hobbyist level and the entertainment level. I'm all about the work, so that's why my mindset comes from. Because I say most of my fleet, I think I bought maybe 2, 3 brand new drones. All the rest of mine I bought used because I couldn't see trying to spend that kind of money unless I can get my money back on it.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, Bill said he's starting a small camera production business, so that's pretty good, Bill. Hey, Bill, you want to go ahead and come on in, sir? I'll send you the link if you're gonna come on in talk to us for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up with Jim and try to figure out how I can try to find me a used Matrice 300 somewhere or 600.
Jim, you know you could talk to us, right?
I think he might be self-muted.
I'm listening to.
Oh, I hear you.
Now they're talking about voter fraud already and all this other crap.
Yeah.
Mel was saying something like that earlier, wasn't he? They're great. Drones are great for what you use them for. Each one has its own specific purpose in life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like I said, I agree with that. You find a place for it. I'm just saying, when you have something smaller, like for me, I bought my Spark a little over 2.5 years ago. First drone I ever bought, and not going to trade it in, not going to sell it because it for what it does is perfect. Being the size of it is, for me to do indoor projects, so to speak. You know, I'm sure the new Mini could replace it easy, especially with a 4K camera and everything else. But my thing is the lack of sensors is always a big deal to me. Doing what I do until the Mini gets some sensors on it, it puts it more at risk.
And
Close
that's
by.
probably not going to happen.
Right, because it's the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they want to keep it under 250, just to keep it away from registration. But the thing is, it's still. I was watching people earlier this evening. They were like, "Yeah, no government problems." Well, they don't. They're not thinking about it because the only government thing that you are that you get away from is the registration. You still have to apply by the rules,
Right.
So,
Well,
but
for me,
the Mavic Mini is the Mini 2 rather is basically the same drone, right? But it has a 4K camera.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that means I've got the Mini 2.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is it's basically been a firmware update because I truly believe the original Mini camera was capable of doing 4K. That is in firmware up to 4K.
So right there is the Mini 2, guys. Mavic Mini with a 4K camera on it.
There you go. There you go. I remember Adrian asked this question, I think last week, about the people who register drones. I said, when I got into it, everything I did was from a Part 107 perspective. All my
Yeah.
drones were registered Part 107. I never went into the hobby side at all. I went straight Part 107. So that's the way I look at it, just from that perspective.
Yep.
If I would have started off as a hobbyist, just flying around for fun, may have a different take and be more into the mindset like a lot of other people. But I've been going straight 107 from day one because I saw where my industry, as far as inspections, being an inspector, was going. And this is something, like I said, to me, it's just a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
See,
a tool, like it's a hammer or a screwdriver. It's just another tool I use to get the job done.
and that's kind of the good thing about living in a populated area versus
Right.
like where I'm at.
Yeah.
All the realtors around here, they either have someone that does it or one of the agents themselves is doing it. And when I said, are they FAA licensed? And they were like, we don't know. We just know he does our videos. It's like,
I saw a funny post by a guy on Commercial Pilots on Facebook, and he was talking about how he's standing in line to vote, and he had to be standing behind a realtor, and then they get to talking, and the realtor talked about how they had somebody flying, and he chimed in and says, yeah, I'm a part. He didn't say he's part 107. He says I fly too, but I sell real estate on the side while I try to go get my license. And he said the look on their face is like terror. Like, what? You're selling real estate without a license? I said that's the way us Part 107 pilots feel. You're flying a drone without a license. And that's what he's trying to. That's what he's trying to impart. I said that's the way we feel.
Right.
You're out there doing it, or you're having somebody else do it who is not licensed or certified to fly.
right.
So how would you feel? I'll tell you, I'm selling real estate on the side while I'm in the process of getting my license.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I thought that was so fitting. I said,
That-
I said, I'd have died laughing.
That's classic.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's yeah. Now, like today, Adrian, I tell you, I was out today. I flew one drone deploy mission doing a repaving job on one of our streets in the city, and then I used I did a manual flight of a new housing project that's starting up, and then I did a litchi mission of a progress flight of another school that's being built.
Okay.
So I mean, that's just what I do in my normal day. It's something that I use different software and everything else that I use in one day.
So are you in Riverside or San Bernardino, or where are you at?
I am in San Bernardino. I live and work.
Okay.
I work for the city, and I actually live here for the last 25 years.
Oh,
So I
you
got
actually work for the city of San Bernardino, or is that what your
Yes.
drone? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
So
actually
you're
work for the city.
so you're a city employee.
Yes, I am a city
Awesome.
employee.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
that's why I tell you guys, I fly anywhere from. I mean, I could fly every day if I wanted to go out and do it, but I just try to regulate the amount of time I spend in the air. Like tomorrow, I got to go out next to another warehouse that's right across this roadway from the airport, and they're putting an underground chamber system in, and I'll just pop up and get some aero shots and be out of my way and go from there.
You want to hire another pilot? I got kinfolk in San Marcos and Vista down there.
Oh, okay.
Escondido.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's why I'm starting this now, Mel. As I say, because I got 5 years left before I retire, and I'm trying to get the city hooked on this. So when I walk out the door, I want the contract because
Yeah.
nobody else in the city is Part 107. I think they have maybe one or two pilots on the PD. None of the firefighters are Part 107, but every firefighting rig has a Maverick Pro sitting on it.
Really?
Yes, they have the birds on there. But
Have they had training to fly them safely?
They've done some of their own flying. I talked to one guy on a diesel spill we had a couple of months back, and he's telling me how I guess they went out and had some extra toy money and bought an Inspire, and they crashed it first day out.
Oh my!
Crashed it right into a tree, and sent it back to DGI, get it repaired. But none of them are took the time to get their Part 107 certification.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get with them. Is to try to get them even at the county level, is try to hold training for all the different cities or agencies that use drones, and that way you develop a more of a cohesive drone body within the community. Like I say, for search and rescue operations or anything else. Like I said, we have emergency like the big quake we had out in Ridgecrest, which is about 2.5 hours north of me out in the desert. That way you can dispatch different people out there that have the equipment. That's why when they're talking about that new tablet that Brian did a video of a little while ago, I think it was last week. I'm on the verge of, I like that tablet a lot, but I'm also on the verge of wanting to get that Firehouse Technology Command Center. It has the big 24-inch screen, built into it, all that kind of stuff. See, that's what my mind says, that because they're almost the same price. That tablet runs about $500-600, and so does that command center. Runs about the same price, and that thing is made for search and rescue or even for clients. It's got a big old 21-inch screen in there. You run a 50-foot HDMI cord from your system, or you can even do it Wi-Fi, and they can sit there and watch it while you all flying and not be disturbed.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I've
that's
been
what
doing that for years. That's why I use the TV. I have a TV in the back.
Yeah. I've heard Jim talk about how he uses a TV and everything. So it's like I said, just a different mindset where I come from a perspective. When I hear people want to buy all the new drones that come out, and I always look at it and say, okay, what is this drone going to do for me, as far as in my field of work?
Yep.
And everything. So that's why I always want to hear what other people's reasons are.
So are you flying any Inspires, or are you running the Mavic Pro and Zoom?
I have Maverick Pro was usually my go-to bird. It usually covers everything I need to do. I do have the Maverick 2 Pro. I usually take out when I get outside jobs, and all these guys want the 20 megapixel picture quality, all that kind of crap.
Right.
I have a couple of Phantom 3 Pros I use from time to time. That's why I trained on with the Phantoms. And then I got 2 Phantom 4 Pros also.
Okay.
And I said those I like using the Phantom 4 Pros for using with drone deploy for mapping missions and so forth.
Yeah, that's a good drone for that job. Yep.
Yeah, they're great for that. I tell people I say I
it was
like
made for it.
Yeah, it's made for it. Like I said, the flight time, you get a lot of flight time. I think I've flown mine all the way up to 25 minutes of actual flight in the air, 25 minutes one battery. But those
And the
suckers
drone
are-
doesn't have to stop to take
No.
pictures.
doesn't have to stop to take pictures, and they're
Yeah.
great and stuff. So I say everything plays its role, and I'm able to bring out what I need based upon whatever the requirements are. So if I
Yeah.
need something, just like regular real estate or commercial real estate, I break out that Maverick 2 in a heartbeat. Like I said, if it's mapping, I break out that Phantom 4 Pro and let it do its job and go from there. And like
Yeah.
regular construction inspections, I like using the Maverick Pro because it doesn't have the side and rear sensors. It's just the front. But when you're doing construction inspections, you want to be able to go backwards sometimes without getting
Yeah.
stopped and beeping and go sideways. And
Yeah.
all the thing is because you're flying forward most of the time when you're doing inspections and so
And
forth.
as long as you're watching, and usually construction
Right.
sites are freeing up a clear trees and things, and
Right.
there's no power lines, no power poles on the job site, all that stuff. What's up, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay, brother Jim, you're about to
Oh.
leave.
So
Oh.
they probably take a smoke break.
Thank you for coming in.
No,
Jim.
he does that right there in his garage. I'm the one
Oh,
that has to go outside for the smoke break.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I was out there with Precision Hawk, Dre. I was on one of the crews. We were up in the
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
telling me that you came out here because I know Precision
Doing,
Hawk right
Yeah, I was
now
out there
is looking for
about 3
pilots.
months.
Yeah, they're looking
Out
for
there?
pilots for. No, they're looking for pilots in the New York area, upper
Oh.
state New York. I see them advertising because, looking for pilots. I've had them contact me twice about some jobs, but at the same time they're looking for pilots, we had the wildfires break out up in
Yeah,
the middle of the state. So they kind of like, no, we can't do it now. 'Cause
yeah,
most, like you said, most time it's going to be for infrastructure stuff, for power lines inspection, stuff like
Yep.
that.
yep.
And so I kind of put that on the side. And then I got called by, I think I heard Jim mention the company, something, was it Hive Drone or Drone Hive? I think they're another service company that recruits pilots.
Haven't heard
Uh,
of that one.
I know Jim's heard of them. I guess they're primarily East Coast, but they recruited me, called me up, did a phone interview, and asked me about my experience and so forth. And I've never seen them out here. They don't have their own app or anything. They just contact you by email. So we'll just see what happens. I told them I was very interested in trying to do a job down in maybe south end of Texas, Louisiana, because of the hurricanes.
Yeah,
Because I know groups like that get those contracts, and they got to go out and recruit all the pilots to fly those missions for the insurance or even for FEMA and
Yep.
so forth. So
yep. And
I
see,
would
stuff
love
like
to do
that,
something like that.
all
Yeah.
of that kind of stuff could be done with a Mavic Pro because they don't need the high res images.
Right.
And
Right.
Ahmed Dar, sorry for murdering your name there, but the Mavic 2 Zoom cannot do power line inspection nicely. All the power line people, all the infrastructure people, they want 20 megapixel plus images, and the Mavic 2 Zoom cannot deliver that.
Right.
So what
I
are
mean,
they?
Well, the biggest thing, like Jim would tell you, that the Mavic series and even the Phantom are subject to RF interference when you get close to power lines and cell
Okay.
towers. So
They
you got to be.
can. I've
they
not
can.
had any problem, but they can.
Yeah. So that's why, like Jim was saying, the more serious companies would like you to have something like a Matrice series. I guess it has an extra shielding in the body to keep that kind of thing from happening.
And the Inspire works well. The Inspire 2 works well for that as well.
Hmm.
We were using Inspire 2s in the Bay Area up there and in the Napa Valley. Inspire
Right.
2s with X7s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you can zoom in good there. Don't have to get all that close.
Oh, well,
Right.
we were not supposed to be within 30 feet,
Yeah.
but sometimes, you know how they cut the tree lines, right? And they run the power line
Right.
down the middle of it?
Mhm.
Well, sometimes there wasn't 30 feet between the tree line and the power lines. So we're
Wow.
8-10 feet away, you know?
Yeah. 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 It's always good. Yeah, Drone
And
Hive is nationwide, tries to keep at least 1,000
Drone
professional.
Hive, okay.
Yeah, that's who they are. Yeah, they called me about a couple weeks ago, put me on their list, I guess. Yeah.
That's how they're in
That'd be
California,
good.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how I went to the page, just looked around, put my name in the hat. Next thing I got a phone call because I guess they heard my name or experience I put it in there, and and just ask me a bunch of questions over the phone. But like I said, I'm trying to get my name out there. So when I walk away from the city in 5 years, by then hopefully I got enough recognition out there that people will ask for me
Yeah.
by name.
Yeah.
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 Because I always tell people, I don't expect to make a living just flying drones, but for my retirement check, and I always tell folks, if I can just make enough money to keep gas in my car, I'm happy.
Yeah. And buy drones.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Support the habit, right?
I mean,
That's
if you're not going to buy drone, at least go ahead and buy accessories. You need
Yeah,
propellers, you need batteries, you need
Yeah.
filter, you need stuff.
yeah. Like the day other night, you had a guy. I think Mike had a guy. What was his name from Atlanta area? They say he worked on the Walking Dead series.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, most of the stuff I buy now are accessories to keep my drones in the air. More props, more batteries, ND filters, all that stuff just adds up. And that's why I say it's kind of hard for me to want to jump from one drone to another. 'Cause I look at the fact that what have I invested in the ones I have? Because like I say, each drone, like I said, I can't use the same ND filters on my Mavic 2 Pro on my Mavic Pro.
Yeah.
Right.
Different type of camera. And the same thing for my Phantom 3s. I can't use the ND filters on that on my Phantom 4 Pros. Different size cameras at 1 inch and it's 3/4 inch on the other ones. So I mean, there's a lot of money you buy accessories for these drones, and it's a decision you got to make. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you sell a drone and then you look at all these accessories and you put up there on eBay or Facebook, whatever it is, or OfferUp, and you know what the value of this stuff is. You spent your money, but somebody else says, "Man, that drone's 2 years old. I can buy a brand new one for that much money," but they don't get all the accessories that you spent money on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what's heartbreaking sometimes.
And I just literally paid, I think she did that. I'm about to go ahead and save it, brother.
Dre, I put you can see the private chat for StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom number, that's a good phone number for me.
Was that for me as well?
What, Adrian?
Was that for me as well?
Well, I guess.
We don't want our host to get all butthurt.
Yeah, we better let him have it too. Huh? It's right there, Bing Bong. I put it up there in front of both of you.
Okay, now they're both good because they both got different area codes.
The bottom one.
Okay.
Oh man.
The 473 is no good.
Okay.
So I was using my keyboard numbers and they're reversed, so that's why it ended up with a 3 instead of the other digit.
Howdy, Mr. Chris Hope.
What's up, Adrian? How are you?
Good
buddy?
evening, Chris.
What's up, Mel?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
I'm a little
How you
rum
doing?
dum. A little rum dum right now. I'm on my 241st Mavic Mini 2 show.
Uh-huh.
Man,
Do you have
What-
one, Chris, or I got one on
what
order?
am I? No, I won't order one. I've got the original.
Oh, okay.
And I'm happy with that.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
you know the Mini 2 is basically the Mini 1 with a 4K camera on it, right?
That's it.
Yep, I got one.
They could.
I got one, Chris.
You got the Mini 1.
I got one. I got the Mini 2.
Do you? Okay, good for you.
Yeah, check this out. Hey, it's got a 4K camera on it.
Nothing like a little super glue.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody in the chat.
That's what you call redneck engineering.
Yeah. I wish they would download and let us play with the camera a little more on the original Mavic Mini. I don't know why they won't.
I know.
Well, I truly believe it had to be no more than a firmware update to change the original Mavic Mini to make it a 4K camera, because basically the camera physically is the same specs. They didn't put a bigger camera. They didn't get a bigger sensor in it. So I think all I had to do is be a firmware.
But it's a different camera.
Is it?
Yeah, because if you look at the camera on the Mini 2, the lens is off to the side, and on the Mini 1, the lens is right in the center. Is it not?
I think it is, Mel.
Oh, you know what? Maybe no.
No, it's
It
not.
may just be the.
There, there's enough space there to put the 4K letters next to it.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure
it is the same camera.
Yeah, because I mean, looking at the specs, to me it like it's the same physical camera. Physically, it just had the different firmware to give it the 4K capability.
Yeah,
As far as
that's
the
probably right.
internal sensor and everything else, that's why I was like,
For $299 more, Dre, you can get that feature.
yeah, that's why.
Well,
I
I
was
don't
like,
know what the hype's all about. I got it right here. You know, that's the Mini right there with a 4K camera on it. I mean,
There you go.
you know.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty much.
I think
Jim's Droney's right.
What's that?
The OcuSync 2 is the ticket.
Oh
Well-
yeah, absolutely.
And well, like I said, I don't fly great distance on a normal basis. I mean, when I'm fooling around at the house, testing something out, I'll stretch my legs out a little bit on my drone. But other than that, I might fly as far as maybe a little over 1,000 feet away from it. I'm on construction site, so I'm not going that far. But
Hey, man.
And you know something else? To keep the weight the same, that was a firmware update too. Because if they'd have changed the board or added the board, they'd have busted the 249 grams. So this drone is capable of OcuSync.
Bill.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm,
Well, they did add,
you know.
they did add a
Metro
light.
Drone, Chief.
Hey, Bill. Yeah,
How you
what?
doing? Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate you.
On the second Mavic Mini, they added a headlight.
the passenger side mirror.
Yeah,
I used to kill me growing up. I don't know how old you are, Chris, but I remember the mail, and I remember that used to be an extra accessory on a car that you had to pay
The
extra
right-hand mirror.
money. The right hand mirror on a car.
Yeah, because it
was
had the
extra.
left hand in the rear view mirror. Yep.
Yeah, that cost you extra. And I remember that it cost you extra to get a tailgate on a pickup truck. It used to cost you extra money. To get a
What?
tailgate. Yeah.
I never heard that.
In California, a dealer would charge you extra, almost $200-$300 for a tailgate. So they cost you $90 for the right side mirror, a couple $100 for the tailgate, and if you want an FM radio, because they only came with AM back in the '70s and so forth. If you want an FM, that was extra money too.
Man, they saw y'all coming.
Oh, dude, it's crazy, dude. It's just crazy. The card stuff was just always crazy.
I can just see it now.
Yeah.
1969. Chris Hope goes up to the Chevrolet dealer to buy him a new Chevrolet pickup truck in the heart of Texas. And they try to tell him it's going to cost him $200 for a tailgate. He's going to stomp a mud hole in somebody's ass. Pickup truck comes with a tailgate. That's standard equipment.
that'd have been my old man that done that, Mel, not me.
What, buying the pickup truck in 1969 or stomping the mud hole?
Both. I might have got to go with him.
Yeah, I think you get a front row seat on that one, huh, Chris?
Hey, I was only 3, man. That's back when you could ride in the front seat without a seatbelt.
How you doing, Curtis? Thank you for coming in. Metro Drones, Bill. How you doing, Chief? Thank you for coming in, brother.
Hey, howdy, Curtis.
We got Mr. Gary Brown Ariel. How you doing, Chief?
Yeah, Brent Ariel coming in.
Appreciate you.
Right. Good deal.
Curtis Dart. Man, you're getting up there, Adrian. You got Curtis Dart in your chat, man.
Yeah.
He's been here sometimes.
Now, I'm hearing, who was just talking about the OcuSync? That was Jim. Jim Joni was talking about the OcuSync. Now, what I find kind of odd, like I said, I got the various drones run off the Wi-Fi, OcuSync. But you know what? The bird that gets my farthest distance is my old Phantom 3 Pro. My old Phantom 3 Pro will run.
That's a Wi-Fi drone.
That's a Wi-Fi drone, and if I don't watch where I'm going, I'll fly that sucker out 12,000-13,000 feet in a heartbeat. Will not lose a bit of signal.
Wow.
Not lose a bit of signal. And stuff.
Oh wow.
And I usually right around 7,000 or 8,000. And my Mavic 2 Pro, I start getting breakup. But
isn't that one that you got, Curtis? I mean, Chris.
What?
Say it again.
the drone that Dre is talking about, isn't that the one that you have?
I have the Phantom 4. It runs off Lightbridge,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and it, 5,000 foot, which is way far enough for me. I don't have to have it.
I have two of them things of that light bridge stuff, man, and them things just fly away. They'll just keep going.
That's why I still fly. That's why I've never upgraded the Phantom. I would love to have the bigger camera. That's all I really want. I could care less about the OcuSync. Just a better camera.
Yeah, I've had more issues as far as connection, consistent connection with my Maverick 2 Pro with the OcuSync than anything else.
Wow.
Lightbridge.
See, I've not had any problem with it.
Like I said, I live in semi-urban industrial area, so I'm flying right over the top of warehouses, trying to make it down to the golf course, which is exactly about I think it's almost just 2 miles down the road where I live at, and I'm flying directly over warehouses and everything else to get down to that golf course. And I try with each one of my drones, and them Phantom 3s are the only ones that I make it and come back without having any issues.
I'm fortunate enough. I live out in the country, so the Wi-Fi. I got Wi-Fi here and around here, but it's not bad. I don't ever have any issues.
Yeah, I guess I got on my route all the warehouses, and I got 2 cell towers. I got to fly right over also in that direction, and I don't have any issues with those Phantom 3s at all. Everybody else wants to act stupid.
I was a couple weeks ago. I had the seaplane over at a lake, and Brent Nunley was there, and another guy, Dan. And anyway, this guy Dan, he was asking about, because he's new to the 107 family. He just got his certificate like 2-3 months ago. Mm-hmm. He was asking about cell tower inspections. How do you do them? What do you do? Well, on the other side of the lake, 500 yards away, 700 yards away was a cell tower. And it was a dual layer. So it had 2 sets of antennas.
Yeah.
So I ran the Mavic 2 Pro over there to it. It was right next to a guy's house. So I didn't get too nuts about doing pictures, but I got down by the base and showed him. You start at the base on one of the corners, and they'll give you a shot list. They'll tell you what corner you need to start at. On a cell tower, they'll probably tell you the northwest corner or something. That'll be your leg number 1, and then you work your way around, work your way up, come back down, go to the next leg, work your way up, get all your top-down shots, get your under shots as best you can. And so I basically did an inspection and showed him how to do it. I didn't get one bit of interference, and I was using the smart controller with the 2 Pro.
That's really good.
No problem whatsoever.
A lot of people say they get less distance with a smart controller. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess all depends where you live at, where you fly at. Depends on your signal strength. Like for mine, I have complete four bars signal strength, and then all of a sudden it goes boom. No, it don't even show up on the screen. You have lost connection.
Wow.
That's the next message you get. You have lost connection with your drone.
See, I had a Mavic 3 standard, a Phantom 3 standard.
Right.
In fact, that was my first DJI drone. And even out in the country, I would notice more in the city. I carried that one on my truck. That was the first drone I carried on my truck. And I would fly it at truck stops and stuff. And truck stops all have Wi-Fi for the truck drivers and all that.
Right.
And so I would have some issues now and then.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, like I say, most of your standard Wi-Fi runs off that 2.4 gigahertz signal, so that's understandable. That's understandable. Yeah. So what's going on down in Texas, Chris Hope? Everything calm?
And just another day. Yeah,
another day.
Nice. We got some California weather. Highs in the 70s right now. It's nice.
We had 75 today or something.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
I got my Tyro built and did a maiden flight this afternoon.
How'd that go?
Perfect.
Addy mode or acro?
No, I flew it in stabilized mode just because I wanted to get the hang of it. But 2 packs and get used to the sticks on the radio, and So much easier to fly it than to fly the Tiny Hawk. It's
Is
crazy.
it really?
Oh,
See, everybody's told me that too.
now then, with saying that, the Tiny Hawk is very easy to fly because it's little and it can crash and it can take a crash real well. And I flew one for a couple months, crashed a couple of them, had to buy another one, shorted one because it went in the water. But it got me to flying the sticks and learning how to run the throttle. The throttle's a big thing, so you don't do a lot of up and down.
Right.
But today I was at the farm and I said, okay, here we go. Up it went, and I just took off. Seven minutes
Really?
on one pack and the other, yeah.
Now, did you have anybody spotting for you so that in case you get do you have any problem with orientation of where the drone is versus where you are?
I kind of,
you know what I mean?
Mel, I thought I would in the beginning, but when I would crash one, it's kind of like playing golf. When you lose your ball, you kind of know where it was. You get that sensation of where it went down at.
See, that was
you can hear it, and then I can see the goggles, and I'll remember. Okay, there's a big oak tree. It looks like it's about 40 foot to the right of the oak tree, and you go down there, and it may be 80 foot from it.
Yeah. See, I was flying the Tiny Hawk at my house in Tennessee. The first time I crash landed, it was on top of the garage, so I knew where that was.
Yeah.
But the second time, I was getting over near the tree line in the brush, and I knew it was going down. And now I'm standing in the middle of my driveway. Behind me is the garage. To the right of me is the house, and the drone is way the other side of the garage at the tree line. So it went down, and I stood there for a second, pulled the goggles off, and looked around and was like, okay, I got 5 acres. 80% of it's tree line. Where the hell is the drone at? I had no idea. I literally had no idea. I was recording on the goggles, so I pulled the chip out, took it in the house, played the video. Was like, okay, it's over behind the garage somewhere. Still didn't really know for sure where.
Yeah.
Went out there with the controller and started flicking the arm and the motors on and off.
Yep.
And I seen the bushes wiggle. If I hadn't seen the tall grass wiggle, I'd have never found the drone.
Yeah, the Tiny Hawk's
and without having the video to look at, the
Tiny Hawk's got a beeper on it. The one I had has a beeper. So you can actually, it's got to be really quiet, but unless you cannot hear that frequency, you can hear it.
I've never heard the beeper on my Tiny Hawk.
And my Tyro's got a pretty good loud beeper. Plus, this one's got turtle mode, so you can hit it and make all 4 props spin. So you can probably find it a little easier. But man, it was a lot of fun. I'm telling you.
Let me ask you guys this, Chris and Mel. We're talking about buying new drones.
Good night, Curtis.
Good night, Curtis. What is the, I would say, total setup cost for FPV? Goggles, bird, controller. Like I say, like you go on the Best Buy and buy it off the shelf.
You can't go in Best Buy and buy it off the shelf.
Right.
First of all.
Right.
You can maybe buy part of it, but if everybody says that digital is the way to go now. If you're going to start flying, start with digital. The DJI system's $1,000 right off the bat. That's not negotiable. Not negotiable. So that's just the camera and the goggles and the controller. Okay. So then, Chris, what did you just spend on that drone you just put together?
The drone was $120 race day quads. You had to buy a flight controller. That's another $20. You had to buy batteries for it. You can buy 2-pack for $30, I believe.
Now, I think a flight controller comes with a DJI system and a radio, right? Does it come with a flight controller?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd have to look at DJI's website.
The thing about the DJI, you don't have to have the flight controller. Most people are buying the goggles and the video controller.
Because
they'll use their regular radio and the controller that they got.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put the camera in to get back to the goggles. You don't have to buy the controller or nothing, and that's about $600.
Okay, and then you got to buy another GoPro type camera to fit up on the top of, right?
Yeah, but with the DJI stuff, you can record it in the goggles, and it's already, I think it's 1080 already, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. or
it's
70.
1080
Oh.
digital video already, so you
Yeah.
can get away without it.
Okay.
Unless you actually just wanted to have, and the other problem is the little square one, the little square session, like the Session 5 or something. That's the one that most everybody used to put on top of the drone. Now they got the regular GoPros that, they're bigger like these.
Right. Uh-huh.
So that's a little bit different scenario. And have you added anything like that yet, Chris, or are you still just using the FPV?
It's coming. Today's the first day I flew it, and I'll put a GoPro or something like. I got one of those cheap action cams from Amazon for a Christmas present a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's what'll go on it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Then
you're
I'll-
saying something like this is easier to fly than the Tiny Hawk?
I'm gonna say yes. For me, it is.
Wow. See, I've had other people say that. Other people have told me you should just leave the Tiny Hawk in the box and fly this.
No, I don't agree with that.
But I'm afraid to fly this.
Hey, Chris, somebody actually sent me, it should be on its way in the mail, the frame for a 7-inch drone, FPV drone. Brand spanking new with like 6 extra arms. He also gonna send me some other, spare parts and stuff like that. He said that all I'm gonna need is, I think he said the motors, the props, the camera, the remote, and the goggles.
Yeah, you need a flight controller and a ESC for the motors to tie into.
Right. So basically, we're looking at
It-
a basic setup 5-inch, 7-inch quad, around $1,500.
Nah, well, that's if you go DJI. You can get
Well,
into
yeah,
it
you
for
go to
500.
gog- Well, I think you got to buy some type of goggle setup. So the DJI, which is everybody's going to that now, digital. I mean, I've seen the analog, and there's no way I could fly analog. It's just it would drive me bananas if I tried to go analog. All that
Well,
broken up picture.
That's what I flew today, and I could fly. I guess I flying about 1,000 foot either way from where I was standing in my pastures, and it go behind some trees, and I'd lose. It'd do that static breakup.
Right.
Get up above it.
Right. That would just.
But
rack me nerves.
I think that makes me a better pilot
because
it makes me concentrate more on what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But the Tiny Hawk return to fly kit is $200. Money well spent. You can fly the crap out of it and break and hit a lot of stuff when you tear it up.
Now, Chris, another thing that the guy told me is that he said I'm gonna have to buy like a soldering gun.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to learn how to put everything together myself, pretty much.
So he's just sending you a frame?
Yeah.
And you have to get all the parts?
The frame and some other parts, but not. I'm gonna have to get. I would say that I would have to get pretty much 90% of the part myself. But he's gonna send me the frame and a couple of other, different stuff.
Well, you'll have to learn to solder if you don't know how.
Yeah.
Because even if later you crash, you break things, you burn up ESCs, you're going to have to take the drone all apart, replace the parts, and solder them all back in.
Okay.
Because the motors, see, each of the 4 motors, the 3 wires from the motor, get soldered to the ESC. Okay. The electronic speed control, and then above that you have your flight controller, and then above that you'll have your video board, your VTX.
That's what they call the stack.
And yeah, so as you look at it like that, that's the stack. That's 1, 2, 3 circuit boards in there. If I hold it just right, you can see them. And that's what's called a stack.
They all plug into the flight controller and they all talk, and that's how your radio talks to it to
Okay.
tell the motors to turn left, right, and how your video comes back to your goggles.
Yep.
Good night, Bob Casey. See you later, brother. Thank you for coming
Good
in.
night, Bob.
See
Have
you,
a good
Mel.
night, buddy.
And I'm talking because I've just done this in the last month. Is put this thing together. You can go online. That's what I did. Josh Bardwell. I watched him build that Tyro 119. That young man over at Drone Camps, he built it too. And I kind of took the two of them and learned from one and watched the other because they both make mistakes. And if you follow the video to a T, you'll make the same mistakes he did, and I did. I did to a T.
So you're a good student, Chris. We got the wrong answer.
I put my ESC controller on what I thought was right the first time. Then I went back and looked at his video. I said, "Oh, I put it on upside down." So I unsoldered everything, cleaned it all up, flipped it over, soldered everything back, put it all back together, smoke checked it, and got on Mitch's show about a week ago. And he said, "We got into beta flight." He said, "Chris, you put your flight control board on backwards." I said, "No, I did. Bardwell did."
Yeah, your motors are, because
Oh man.
the motors were wired to the wrong spot. So when he
wrong
hit,
side.
yeah.
Wrong side.
yeah,
Hmm.
So again, for the third time, I tore it down and unsoldered everything and cleaned it all up, flipped it over and soldered it all back together.
so now he knows that drone real good.
I can take it apart in about 5 minutes now.
So basically, you done it so far, you just do it. No problem now.
Nah, and you got here's what I've learned in the last month. You got the community, okay? You got Mitch, you got Carlos, you got a rookie like me. You got Mel, you got Dre over here.
Rookie like me.
There's a bunch of folks you can pick their brain and get different bits of information out of them.
And Adrian, I'm going to give you some really, really good advice. You take the drone out to fly it like this. The goal is to bring it back like this. But sometimes you bring it back like this.
Yeah,
It's a humbling experience.
that's what everybody says.
Do you fly with the goggles, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you bring it back like this, you have spare parts. You have spare motors. This is the ESC. It's burnt up. The flight controller is burnt up. The what they call the VTX, the video transmission board, its connections are bent and pulled off the circuit board, so it's junk. So the only thing in that bag that's really any good is the battery connector, a few of the screws, and the antenna. The only thing here that's any good is the 4 motors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you look at the bottom of this, it's supposed to be white. Okay.
Did it catch on fire, Mel?
That's what I'm about to say. Like it had a little
That LiPo was on the bottom of it, wasn't it?
The LiPo is on the bottom.
onboard
And
fire there.
It didn't actually catch fire, but it did short out and burn. I don't know if you'll be able to see the corner of the board right there.
Yeah.
It burnt the wires. It burnt the motor wires right off the board.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And don't forget, you got Night Train FPV Mike. He's good at this stuff too. So
Yeah.
there's always help, Adrian. That's what I've learned in the last couple months.
Pieces still falling out of it.
Jerry Caverly,
Well,
FPV. You know, there's a whole bunch of
FPV. So I do want to go ahead and thank everybody that popped into the panel. It's about to be 11 o'clock. I'm about to call it a night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah, about to be 2 hours. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for popping in. Please go ahead and hit the like button on the stream. I really appreciate you guys. Chris, thank you for coming in at the last minute. Appreciate you,
you're
brother.
welcome. You're welcome, Adrian. I just got
Mel,
busy.
Thank you for popping in. Dre, thank you for coming in. Everybody that came in earlier.
Thank you for allowing me there, Adrian.
Yep. Same here,
Man.
bud. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. And
A lot of people think I'm too controversial. They don't like to put me on their last name.
well,
Bye, Mint. Thank
don't
you
worry
for coming.
about it. You're fine.
All right.
Good night,
Hey,
Matt.
Jonathan.
Good day, Matt. Have a good day at work, buddy.
Good day,
All right.
mate.
Adrian, thank you.
Jonathan Cabanas,
Gray,
again.
Chris,
All right.
Thank you.
Till next time, gentlemen. Be
Later.
safe.
we'll see you.
Everybody, thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys, and I will see you on the next stream next week, Wednesday. Thank you so much.